Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, ES held above the 2135 high volume node and then launched to the upside, breaking above the recent short-term balance. At this point, heading into the open, the buy side is in firm control, and we'll be watching to see whether buyers can sustain the overnight move and hold ES above the 2143 pre-market support and the 39 quarter to 4175 initial support, which essentially marks the top of the current balance area and the overnight breakout area. So in order for this move to really stick and continue accelerating to the upside, we want to see ES holding above initial support and ideally even pre-market support. On the upside, the main target is going to be the 5175 to 5375 initial resistance, where the market can go up and tag the 52.5 to 53 high volume node. At that point, we could see some profit taking come into the market. It is an area of resistance until broken. So beyond that, it's a little bit questionable whether there's going to be too much upside, especially on the day time frame. It doesn't mean that we can't continue going higher over the course of the remainder of the week, but on the day time frame today, by the time ES hits 5175 to 5375, we'll be hitting the range potential of the day, and that area is resistance until broken, so it's a good spot to look to take profit. Now, beyond that, ES can go higher and tag 56 to 58 and potentially even the gap at 59, and at that point in time, the zone could end up capping the upside because you would be exhausting the range as well. But the main thing today is going to be to watch and see whether this overnight breakout is going to stick. And if that's going to happen, then we'd like to see ES holding above the initial support zone. In terms of the market internals, given that we're opening up on roughly a 10-point gap, we should be seeing strength on the advanced decline line pretty much right off the open. So it's going to open on a positive value. That's a given. What we want to see is AD actually holding that positive value and continuing to trend to the upside. Now, as it's trending to the upside, there can be pullbacks, there can be minor retracements. That's okay. We just don't want to see an advanced decline line that is just clearly trending lower and is hitting some mediocre values below plus 800 to 1000. So the main thing is to continue to see a upward trending advanced decline line. In terms of the NYSE tick, because we have already broken out, we'd like to see the overall distribution on the tick be skewed above zero, but we don't necessarily have to hit, major upside values on the tick like plus 1100 or 1200. As long as it's holding above zero, even if we're hitting, plus 600 to 800, we should be okay there. We don't necessarily have to, just thrust higher. We can continue going up on a slower pace because so far in the overnight session, the volume has come down a bit, and that means that we can just have a slower pace, but the directionality of the market can still be pointing to the upside as long as we're holding above 2143 and 39 quarter to 4175. So the primary scenario today is a bullish scenario, but that does require that ES hold above the pre-market support and initial support. On the downside, a break below initial support would mean that at least the overnight breakout has technically failed. It doesn't mean that we have to just completely fail and head to the other side of the balance. Buyers can still be active at 33.5 to 35.5, and that would be kind of the final spot. If that area doesn't hold, then it's a complete invalidation of the overnight move, and in that case, we're just right back into the recent balance, and we can go lower and test 26.5 to 29, and then we'll have to be a little bit more careful on the long side, simply because there may not be sufficient reward potential left on the long side, and at that point, ES could technically tag Friday's low at 23 quarter. That's the secondary scenario. it's a lower probability given the strong overnight move across the board, but it's something to be open-minded to in the event that we do start seeing signs of weakness on the day time frame, and we start seeing some more bearish price action. So by default, we are going to give edge to the buy side, but if we fail initial support, or if we're just seeing a lot of downside momentum, that's simply not conducive to upward price movement and a sustained breakout. And in that case, we'll have to adapt and adjust and be open to the downside. But by default, we are going to give edge to the buyers, anticipating a move up into 51.75 to 53.75, where sellers can be active on first test. But if there is a lot of strength in real time and a lot of upside momentum, then we don't necessarily have to completely stop at 51.75 or 53.75. There would be potential to tag the next zone, especially if NASDAQ is breaking to new highs. So keep an eye on NQ. It has been leading to the upside, and the current yearly high on NQ is 49.01.5. Currently it's trading at 48.75 or so, so it's not so far away from that yearly high. And if it starts pressing to a new high, in that case, you don't want to be looking to short, regardless of the resistance zone being hit. And even if you are shorting, just keep in mind that it's probably going to be for a minor or modest response, as opposed to a big move back down. So again, those are things we can assess in real time. So those are the main ideas heading into the open. Let's see if the buyers can hold ES above 43 and above 39 quarter to 41.75. That'll really help set the tone and bias on the day, and we'll take it from there.